Bobby and Junior Dable lived right next door to me, to the east, and Bobby was probably 3 or 4 years older than I was, and Junior was a year older than that, but they were always, well, they made flippers, and we always and we went hunting together down in the meadows and in the winter on skis on my snowshoes. But anyway, we this one year they built a kite. We built a kite out of newspapers, and it was probably 9 foot long and 7 foot wide. And
it's a big kite.
Yeah, it was a big kite. And what we had to do is we had to go down to the sawmill and just get some slab pieces and big enough to hold the paper and all. And so we didn't have any houses across the street from us, because the farms went from my house clear down to the fairgrounds, and there was no houses. So we had plenty of room to fly the kite. And so we got that up in the air, and it was way up in the air, flying good, the wind was good, and the string broke. And we watched that kite go all the way across the valley and clear up to the mountain where the star is at. We watched it, and we never found it again. It was gone, but it was a huge kite. It was really fun. And then also, they every spring when the snow would melt and there was still piles of it in the shade, we'd go down to the fairgrounds, and there would be pallets or wood or something laying on the ground, and so we would very quickly lift that up, and there were mice, dozens, hundreds of them. And so what they did was we put the mice in a 5-gallon drum and took them up, and then they would throw one out on the lawn and shoot at them with our flippers. And it was funny because they left that can of mice, and there was probably 30 or 40 of them in that can, and put the lid on, just tied it on them so they could breathe or anything. But they come out the next day, and they had been chewed right up. The mice had chewed each other up.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, I know. It was really bad. They had to get rid of them. Well, what do you do with them?
Take them back to the fairgrounds.
Yeah, take them back to the fairgrounds and dump them and let them go. But it was very interesting. But there was a lot of things. We used to play on their house. Their house went east and west. Ours went north and south. And but they had a backyard and a front yard in theirs. And so we would play Annie I Over. You guys, did you know what Annie?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'd choose up sides, and there would be half of them on one side and half on the other, and then you would throw the ball over, and when a soft rubber ball, and they would throw the ball over, and then catch it and throw it back, and then catch it and throw it back, and then you'd catch it, and then you sneak around, and if you throw the ball and hit somebody, they'd be on your side. I mean, that's
a version of dodgeball, huh?
That's Annie I Over, but just a little ball, one you could throw. But we had a lot of times, and I can remember I was probably 7 years old, and it was in the summertime, and the sun was still shining, and I had to go to bed, and everybody was out playing in the backyard and all. I was babied because I was the baby, I guess. But I couldn't go out and play over the Bobby and Junior's. But we had a good time through them. And one time, Junior and I went down on the fields on the farm areas, and it was winter, and up on the poles, the light poles, the wire, it was probably, I don't know, 200, 250 yards away from us. And I propped my 22 on the post, and Junior says, "You'll never hit that in 100 years." Boom! And the bird fell off the top. But we had a good time with Bobby and Junior. But I know Bobby died of he had cancer after he got married and moved to Salt Lake.
Not from mice poisoning, huh?
No, and Junior, he bought Will Call's house where Val lived years after, and I think he's passed away too. I don't know. Last time I saw him was quite a while ago. All my friends are dying, you know.
It does happen.